At UFC 294, former lightweight champion Charles Oliveria will look to reclaim his spot atop the UFC's lightweight division in his highly anticipated rematch with Islam Makhachev. Although there were concerns over whether or not Oliveira would be able to compete in October, a bout was finalized for October 21st in Abu Dhabi, the location of the pair's last fight. With preparations underway for the fight, Oliveira spoke to ArabNews.com to discuss the rematch and why he has no plans of allowing the first meeting to dictate how things play out at UFC 294. I've fought there against the same opponent, but what has happened has happened. I'm just going to focus on the future. I want to put on a great show, and what's in the past is in the past. As the former champion has maintained, he simply had an off night at UFC 280 and as such expects an entirely different contest this time around. Despite that, the odds currently have Makhachev as being a pretty heavy favorite going into the fight, at -310 compared to Oliveira's +230 underdog status. Given the current landscape of the 155-pound division, with Justin Gaethje waiting in the wings for his crack at the title, and Alexander Volkanovski eager to move back up in pursuit of champ status, it's safe to say that the stakes will be at an all-time high in Abu Dhabi. Do you think Oliveira has what it takes to avenge his UFC 280 loss and reclaim UFC gold by defeating Islam Makhachev? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Shout out to our first comments on yesterday's video. Thanks for the support. Israel Adesanya ready to expose Sean Strickland. The UFC 293 main event between Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland is rapidly approaching in just a few short weeks. Although it took the UFC quite a while to make the announcement regarding the bout, the last stylebender doesn't seem fazed in the slightest by the quick turnaround. While speaking in a recent interview with MMA Junkie, Adesanya explained that although he is not underestimating Strickland, he has no doubt that he will make short work of the outspoken and oftentimes controversial contender.
People do think I'm going to blow through this guy, rightfully so, because I will. And I said, he's not an easy fight, but I'll just make it look easy. He's a hard fight, but I'll make it look easy. I've made a lot of hard men look easy. Easy work, so yeah, this will be no different.
Of course, given the infamous UFC 276 press conference where these two men verbally sparred on stage, many fans are eager to see the two share the stage once more leading up to their UFC 293 clash. According to the champ, he doesn't care about the press conference. He only cares about what happens when the two men meet in the center of the octagon.
You know, he wants to be that guy and macho or machismo. I'm like me, I don't need to prove I'm a man by doing all that kind of shit. I just be me, and I'll still fuck you up.
While there's been no talk of Strickland's ground game being the X factor in this fight, Adesanya has made it clear that he plans to put on a show for the fans in Sydney. When the two collide on September 10th, who do you think winds up getting the job done? Drop your predictions in the comments section below. Stephen Thompson breaks silence. Longtime fan favorite Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has found himself in a difficult spot after the cancellation of his UFC 291 bout with Michel Pereira. Although the expectation was that Thompson would return to the octagon sooner rather than later, he seems eager to let his body heal up before jumping into a short notice fight. Despite that, at 40 years old, Thompson is well aware of the fact that he needs a win over a big contender to get himself down a UFC 291 fight with Jack Della Maddalena, as well as a fight the week after in Vegas. At the same time, he does have his sights set on a massive fight with Forward. Although he tweeted that he would be pursuing a rematch with O'Malley, his immediate focus is on taking a vacation and enjoying himself. In the meantime, questions regarding how the UFC plans to handle Sean O'Malley's first title defense have continued to surface. On one hand, the champion wants to compete against Chito Vera, given their long-standing feud. On the other, however, Merab Dvalishvili is eager to return to the octagon and cash in on his title shot. With a vacation up next on the former champ's agenda, who do you want to see him fight when he returns to the octagon? Should he make the cut back down to 135 pounds in order to try and avenge his loss against Sean O'Malley? Or should he commit to making the transition to 145 pounds? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Before we continue, make sure you give that like button some love and be sure to subscribe